happy, peaceful, strength, everything is been found internally. That's what the Vedanta teaches us. That's what Swami Vivekananda is teaching. Again, if you want me to ask, in one word, can you give me the Swami Vivekananda's teachings? That is divinity. Swami Vivekananda taught divinity. What is this divinity? Science of infinite possibilities. What a beautiful word. The divinity means what? It is the science of infinite possibilities. So that we have to understand. Now, what do you mean by this divinity? Upanishads have been discussed a lot. That is what? Self, spirit, Atman, Brahman, or consciousness, and that is our real nature. And it is eternal. It is pure. It cannot be destroyed. It doesn't have any birth and death. And it is with full of completedness. This is what the divinity, we all know that. And Swami Vivekananda says, quote, my ideal indeed can be put into few words, and that is to preach the mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. To preach unto mankind their divinity and how to make it manifest in every moment of life. See, this is what Swami Vivekananda's main teaching. So we are divine. So what is the divinity Swami Vivekananda wanted to teach, and how to manifest the divinity in every moment of life is what Swami Vivekananda's goal, Swami Vivekananda's philosophy can be put into a simple statement or simple sentence. Though it looks simple statement of 2 lines, but it has got a profound meaning. With full of deep meaning, we have to think. When I was cogitating during my research on the Swami Vivekananda's messages, especially with this particular statement, I got 3 corollaries. What is divine? Upanishads have told time and again. Swami Vivekananda also has given a lot of informations and ideas about the divinity. That is our real nature. Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute. Today I'm not going to it. Only I'm going for the second aspect, how to manifest the divinity in every moment of our life. The practical aspect of manifesting the divinity, which Swami Vivekananda said, practical Vedanta. So let me try to understand that. Let me try to explain that. When I was thinking about how one can manifest the divinity at every moment of life, I got 3 ways or 3 approaches to manifest this divinity. One is, we have got 3 powers. Whoever has known Lalita Sahasranama, in the Lalita Sahasranama, a particular line says, a particular line has been in that, they try to explain the nature of the mother as the 3 names. Icha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. The nature of the divine mother, Mother Lalita, is Icha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti Swarupini. So the manifesting the divinity means what? How it can be manifested in every moment of our life, manifesting through Icha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. I will go into detail. This is what one way to manifest the divinity. The second is, we have got 3 powers, as Swami Vivekananda himself has said. He has hinted in his lectures. One is physical strength. The second is intellectual strength or mental strength. And the third is spiritual strength. Of course, in the mental strength, it comes power of mind, power of ideas, power of emotions, ethics, morality, all these things includes there. This is the second way of approach to manifest the divinity. The third way of manifesting the divinity, Swami Vivekananda himself has said that each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest. How? Either by love, that is devotion, or by selfless action, or by the knowledge, or by the psychic control. That is what 4 yogas: Karma Yoga, Gnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga. So these are the 3 ways how we can manifest the divinity in every walk of life. So the first approach, through Kriya Shakti, Gnana Shakti, and Icha Shakti. What is that? By understanding and by trying to implement, practice, how can we manifest the divinity? We shall try to understand. And Swami Vivekananda tells his idea, you see, these conceptions of the Vedanta must come out, must remain not only in the forest, not only in the cave, but they must come out to work at the bar and bench, in the pulpit, and in the cottage of the poor man. With the fishermen, they are catching fish, and with the students that are studying. And he continues. Why? If the fisherman thinks that he is the spirit, is the self, he will be a better fisherman. If the student thinks he is a self, he will be a better student. And if a lawyer thinks he is the spirit or the self, he will be the better lawyer, so on and so forth, unquote. So by knowing he is the self, is the Atman, is a consciousness, it is not that he has to get away from the world. He has to become a monk. She has to become a nun, and they have to renounce the life. They should not bother about the mundane world. No, they will become the better person in their every walk of life. That's what Swami Vivekananda's idea. If you are a politician, you can become a better politician. If you are an IAS officer, you can become the better IAS officer. If you are a businessman, you can become the better businessman. And if you are a scientist, you can become the better scientist. Now, how that is? Let us see. What is these three powers I said? Icha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti. So the manifestation of the divinity can be understood by manifesting these three powers. Icha Shakti. Icha Shakti is nothing but power of desire, or creative urge, or willpower, or power of intention. So I shall take power of desire. I always say that we should have desires. Swamiji, Buddha has said, Ase dukkha ke moola. Desires are the root cause for all our sufferings, miseries. And you are saying that, being a monk, that too, and you are saying that we should have desires. What is this? How is it that you are contradicting the Buddha's teaching? Hold on. When I say that we should have a desire, I didn't mean that I should have desire like, let me eat a chocolate, or let me go in a pulsar bike with a 120 kilometer speed. What a thrilling. In a slang Kannada language, especially Bangaloreans, youths, they speak like this language today. Macha, 120 kilometer speed al hogidde. Yen thrilling speed ittu gotta. No, I'm not speaking such type of desires. Most of us, we desire, in a SLC, we should get distinction. Of course, distinction is lost now. We are all 90 and above only we should get now. In the PUC, again, 90 and above. Then finish graduation, or at the most post-graduation, have a campus recruitment, then get a lucrative job, settle in the life. This is what the desire we have got. More than that, most of the youngsters, we don't have better desire. Once, Warren Buffett asked, we know all that he's a millionaire, in a great congregation where all young minds were sitting, probably few hundreds. He asked, my dear, before addressing you all, I have got a question. Will you answer me? Everyone said, yes, sir, please go ahead. He said, who can be a millionaire? Immediately, many of the people started looking at each other. See, who can become a millionaire? When the Warren Buffett asked, the people started seeing the people who are sitting next to them are behind them. Then he laughed and said, my dear, most of you are seeing either and thither are back. That means you don't have a confidence that you can become a millionaire. Then people started saying that who work hard, who are smart, who have got skills, all these things. Then Warren Buffett said, you didn't understand my question properly. I never asked what are the qualities to become a millionaire. I am asking who can become a millionaire. But it is very unfortunate that no one said that the expected answer. Then Warren Buffett said, that is the reason you are not able to become millionaire. You know, when I was a small boy, or when I was a young chap, I got a desire that I would like to become a millionaire, and today I am a millionaire. He said that Who can become a millionaire? The answer, Warren Buffett was expecting the answer that I can become a millionaire. So this is what I mean, desire. Icha Shakti. Why can't we think big? Swami Vivekananda keeps on saying that. Swami Vivekananda keeps on saying that. Think big. We should have noble ideas. We should have great ideas. We should have big ideas. We should think. Most of us, we don't think at. Probably will tell a story of a girl who is from Karnataka, then you will understand. Her name is Ashwini Angadi. Many of might know about her. She's a born blind girl. Imagine she's a girl and born blind. What will be her fate and what will be the parents' reaction? As usual, many people said, oh, because of the curse and because of the sin she has done in the previous life, that's why she's born blind. We feel so sorry. And not only that, they also started giving a free suggestion, free upadesha to their parents, her parents, that, oh, she's a born blind, what else you can do? Sorry, please take her and put her into some orphanage. Why you want to take the responsibility of this problem to eternally? But anyhow, their parents, they didn't follow that. They took care of the Ashwini Angadi, this girl who is a born blind. But she was studious in her studies. She finished her graduation. And at the end of her graduation, she got campus recruitment in a good MNC company for a well job offer. She was very happy. Parents were happy. Society, who were all felt bad and they had advised, given a free advice, join her to the orphanage. All of them, they felt, oh, she's a great girl. Though she's a born blind, she finished her education nicely in a good percentage and she has been recruited in the campus itself. And her education finished. The next day, cab came, cab picked her up and she went to the working place where there was a AC and she had her own cabin. All people were also helping her because she was able person, specially abled person. She was so happy for 2-3 days. After 4th day, a thought started lingering in her mind. Is it for this? Have I taken birth? See, getting job itself is a big challenge for most of our youths. And if you get a job, you are happy. And if you get a lucrative job, you feel that heavens are in your hand. But she started feeling that. And we all got all our body, senses, everything is intact. And she's a born blind girl. She has got a lucrative job. And she's thinking that I am not meant for this. I have to do something else. Then that thought haunted her. She had to probably spend her life a few days sleepless. And she thought, and she found the answer that I want to be a contributor personality. My desire is to become the contributor personality. I want to contribute something to society. Fine. How can I become a contributor personality? She thought that let me give life, let me give an assurance, let me give an hope for specially abled children like me. And she started a Bedaku Academy in Bangalore, where definitely when she resigned, even the company people said that please don't do that, you may not get this offer again. And the neighbors or the relatives, they all scolded her. Only the parents supported her, whatever it may be. In her own humble way, she got some orphan boy and girl were specially abled or blind children. And she started feeding her, giving education, etc. And today, in no time, with the difficulties, no doubt, she says that I am the mother of 30 to 40 children. And just she married recently. Then how can she can be the mother of 30 to 40 children? Because 30 to 40 orphans, she's taking care. She's giving the life for them. And you see, this is what I mean, desire, Icha Shakti. Who is stopping us to think like this with the sublime thoughts, with the noble thoughts, with the noble ideas, or with the great desires? But we have confined ourselves because of unconscious living. We are not living the life of consciousness. When we say that manifest the divinity, it is not that we should go to monastery and we should go to temples or we should try to do some practice meditation or whatnot. They are all part of our life, no doubt. But manifestation of the divinity is what? Think big, have a conscious living, have the noble thoughts, have the big desires, and try to implement it, manifest it, or put into action. Icha Shakti. Then the second is Kriya Shakti. I've got desire. I want to be a president of the India, or I wish to become the prime minister of the India. Of course, Indian election is going. Now someone wants to be chief minister of Karnataka probably. I've got a desire. Or I want to be a scientist. Icha Shakti. So if not all, some of us, we get stopped here. So this Icha Shakti has to be translated into action. It has to be put into practice, put into action. That is what I mean, Kriya Shakti. Kriya Shakti means what? Power of action. The desires has been translated into action. That is what? Kriya Shakti. All the great people, they had a noble ideas, noble desires, big ideas, and they put into practice. When Swami Vivekananda wanted to go to Chicago's Parliament of Religions, it was not a cakewalk for him. He had to face a lot of troubles, a lot of struggles, and finally he went to Chicago. And there also, in 10 or 12 days, whatever the amount he had, 60 to 70% of the amount, it got over. And the Chicago's Parliament of Religions was postponed, and he came to know that if you have to be the delegate in the Chicago's Parliament of Religions, you should have a letter, and he doesn't have any letter from the known agency or known organization or from a known person, and the last date is over. All such type of problems he had to face from Vivekananda, but he faced it, but afterwards he overcome it. And just to save the money, 1,000 kilometers he had to again travel, come to the place where the cost of living is small, cost of living is less. So like the lot of adverse circumstances Swami Vivekananda faced. Sir M. Visvesvaraya faced, Dr. B.R. Ambedkar faced, Maharana Pratap faced, but still they became successful. Why? Because the power of action was very prevalent in them. We all think when we hear some motivational talks, we get inspired, we get motivated. 1 or 2, 3 days we do, and 4th day, back to square. Punar Mushiko Bhava, we say in Sanskrit. Back to square. After 3 days, wherever we started, again we come back to the same position. That should not happen. When we say manifesting the divinity means what? The Kriya Shakti has to be put into practice. Means I have to do my actions. Like for an example, I would like to get up at 5 a.m. and I start my life. If I've decided from today or tomorrow onwards, we should start getting up at 5 o'clock and we should start our routine or whatever. It starts from our Icha Shakti, from our getting up, actually from rising from the bed. Probably I'll give one example of this Kriya Shakti, then you'll be able to understand. One named person, Suhas Gopinath, I don't know how many of you know, he's from Bangalore. When he was, probably this happened in 90s, 1980, 1990 or whatever, he was studying in his high schools, 9th or whatever. 2 of his friends, they had come from the business family, from rich family, since they had computers. And once, to mock him, to taunt him, the friends asked, my dear, we have got an email ID. Have you got email ID? Please share so that we can share the notes and other things. They were reading in a convent. They were studying in a convent in Bangalore. So as Gopinath, out of innocence, he asked, what is this email? Then they explained, what is that electronic mail? How does it work? Etc. etc. He was also very much interested to have the email ID. He asked, how can I have an email ID? He said, it's very simple. Just you can have one computer and with the internet, that's all. Imagine 1990s having one computer is not that easy. Today it is very easy for all of us. Most of us we have got. Then innocently he went and he approached his father and he said, Father, please get me a computer for me to create an email ID. His father said, my dear, we are middle class family. We can't afford to have a computer at this stage. When you grow up, you can have the computer, but not now. Then, of course, he was a good student or a good son, obedient son. He kept quiet. He understood the problem or the limitation of his father. He kept quiet and he went to his routine. After 1 or 2 days, when he was coming back from his school to the house, on the way, he looked that there was an internet cafe or cyber cafe. There, when he peeped in, he saw there is an internet and there is a computers. And he inquired what should we do, etc., etc. After 2-3 days, he approaches the owner and he said, "Uncle, if you don't mind, I will work here. Will you allow me to work?" Then the owner asked, "Why you want to work here? And what have you got financial problems?" He said, "No." "Then why you want to work? What are you expecting from me?" "No, when I'm working, whatever you work you give, I do it. Only my request is you should allow me to work for 1 hour here. I should be able to use computer and internet for 1 hour. That is the only request I have got." Then the cyber cafe owner felt very interesting and he started inquiring about him, his parents and where he's from, etc., etc. All these things he inquired. And he felt that the student is genuine and he said, "You need not to work, just you look after the office to some time and you can work for 1 hour." And imagine what he would have been done. When he got computer and internet, he would have created an email ID and he would have sent the test mail for his friends. Then other time, what he would have done as a small boy, young boy, adolescent boy, if you ask, most of the time, the youngsters would have said, because there is no YouTube and all, then Netflix and all, they would have said that they would have played computer games or they would have killed the time. But immediately after sending the mail, he started thinking that, how did this mail work? Then HTML language or C language or JavaScript or whatever, the then language, computer language was available. When he got the information, he started understanding it. He started learning by himself, self-learning he did. And in 3 months, he launched one website with respect to education. With respect to education, to help the students, he launched one website. Imagine, my dear. Then he explained to his father and he said that, "Father, please help me to get a computer now." His father slapped him tightly. Why? "Now you are a 10th student boy. You should never go to cyber cafe now onwards. You should read nicely, etc., etc." But still he obeyed his father, but still there was a lot of desire was lingering in him. I should do something. One of his friend who was settled in US, he came to know about him that he has launched one website and he told to his father, and he was a computer in a profession. So he came to know that he tried to see that website and all. He was mesmerized and he phoned and he said to Suha's father that, please allow him, let him come to US. I will help him to get his education and also I'll give computer and internet. Let him do whatever he wants. Initially, Suha's father was reluctant, but then Suha's father agreed finally. But this Suhas was so much Swabhimani, he never agreed to take a free help. Then the friend's father said, "Okay, I will pay you few dollars, 300 or 500 or whatever dollars I will pay. You please give your website. You sell your website for me." Then he said, fine, and he sold his website and he got his ticket fare to travel to US in those days. And his father also helped. He traveled to US. And he pursued his studies and also he pursued his dream. He created a websites and whatnot. And at the age of 18, imagine, at the age of 18, he came back to India. As soon as he came back to India, he called to his manager and he said, I think 15 to 18 companies, places in different countries, he was running his company. And he said, from today onwards, the headquarters will not be US, headquarters will be India, Bharat. Please change in all the websites that from today onwards, the headquarters of our company will be India. Because now he's 18, he's a major, he can run a company and he can be the CEO of the company or whatnot. That's why he was waiting for the 18th year. And once on the 18th birthday itself, he landed and he had a grand birthday party too. So a journalist who was aware of it, he said, "Sir, I would like to make interview." After the birthday party, there was an interview. The first question was asked by the journalist, Sir, please tell me the unforgettable day in your life. So when this same question I asked with many of the youngsters when I was addressing in India in a college couple of times, many of them said because that the same day where he landed from US to India and he met his friends and parents. That's what someone said. Some said when he got a slap from his father, or someone said his friends asked about email ID, or he launched a website, he sold website, all these questions. And Swaz Gopinath said, today is the unforgettable day in my life. Why? Because today I'm feeling so proud that my company's headquarters became India, not the US. And today, as a Bharatiya, as an Indian, I'm able to do something to my country, and also I'm able to something to do my society. See, he got the desire just to send an email ID, but afterwards he launched website, he learned many things, and till 2007 or 10 or 15, he was one of the youngest CEO in the world. And he was also the advisor for the UN Economic Forum and the Dubai Prince. He welcomed him and he dined with him and he took some ideas. And when APJ Abdul Kalam was the president, he had invited him for a special dinner. So the manifestation of the divinity, even in the secular life, if you see that, you can become that's what Swami Vivekananda said, you can become the better student. You can become the better lawyer. You can become the better fisherman and whatnot. If you want industrialist, you can become the better industrialist. Manifesting the divinity through Kriya Shakti. The third is manifesting the divinity through Gnana Shakti, which is very, very important from the Indian point of view. India stands, this Bharata stands for what? This Gnana. Swami Vivekananda tells very clearly, the whole world requires light. It is expectation. India alone has that light, not through magic or charlatalism or whatnot, but in the teaching of the glories of the spirit of real religion of the highest spiritual truth. And Swami Vivekananda, whoever has read Colombo to Almora, lectures from Colombo to Almora, through that we can understand very well Swami Vivekananda, how beautifully he has explained what is India, what is the strength of India. There are some talks I had been taken when I was in Mysore. Some are available on YouTube, also in Facebook and YouTube, in the Om Charaiveti channel also. When we read Swami Vivekananda's lectures from Colombo to Almora, our idea about Hinduism and our idea about India, it totally changes. Whenever the world was in distress, the world was saved by India. How? By giving the spiritual ideas, that is Vedantic ideas, or the ideas related to spirit. It gave the world peace time and again from the India. Swami Vivekananda has told many times. That is what Gnana Shakti. Power of thought, power of mind, power of intellect, desire to know, all these things are come under Gnana Shakti. Swami Vivekananda himself, when he was studying in the 8th standard, his father, for a lawsuit, we all know that Swami Vivekananda's father, Vishwanath Datta, he was the famous lawyer. Because for the lawsuit from Calcutta, he came back to Narayanpur, which is in Chhattisgarh, today's modern Chhattisgarh. There it took a good amount of time, so he was not aware how much time it will take. Then the whole family shifted there. For 2 years they had to stay to finish the lawsuit. Since there was uncertainty of their stay, Naren was not put into any school officially, formally, but he was studying himself little and he was practicing a lot of music, things and all. Then after 2 years, he went back along with his family, Naren. Then he was supposed to be in 10th standard. But he had left in the 8th standard. Now he had to be supposed to be 10th standard, but he couldn't because many of the schools, they rejected because he had not passed 9th standard. Only a school headmaster who was well aware of Naren's capacity, he said, I will take, but condition is you should pass in first class. If you promise me, then I will take you directly to 10th standard. Naren promised him and he continued his studies and all. For a few days, it was nice. Naren and his guru, Sri Ramakrishna, both of them, they had one problem, limitation. What is that? Both of them had a problem of mathematics. Some of us also we have got. So they never used to like mathematics. because it is full of calculations. Sri Ramakrishna also had a problem with the mathematics. Even Naren, Swami Vivekananda also had a problem with mathematics. So since all other subjects were for his liking, he had studied 3 years, he had to study and appear for all the 3 years exam papers he had studied. But unfortunately, because mathematics was not dear to him and it was an allergy for him, he had keep on postponing. One fine day when he got up from his bed, he suddenly he was able to understand that in a month or so, there's an exam where he had to appear for 3 years exam and he has not studied at all mathematics. Then what to do? Immediately he thought, before finishing the 3 years mathematics, I will never get up from my study table. He sat and he started finishing his ablutions. He sat and he started studying. There was a breakfast time. His mother called. He didn't get up and go. Food was supplied there. He continued his study. Lunch time, he was called. He didn't get up from the table. Again, lunch was provided on the table. Evening, milk was given. Night food was given. Mother said, my dear, enough. Please go and sleep. He said, don't worry, mother. Please go for rest. Go to sleep. When I feel enough, I will get up. And in midnight, she comes and observes, or she sees Naren is continuing studying. He's studying. The next day, the second day, whole day he studied. Third day also studied. By that time, mother had a fear. What happened to my son? Whether any spirit or a ghost has appeared. On the third day evening, Naren called her mother. My study is over. And he got up and he had a sumptuous meal and snoringly he slept. So this is what one is Icha Shakti, the other is Gnana Shakti. The power of knowledge. And in Gujarat also, Swami Vivekananda sat for 3 days. He himself studied Panini's Ashtadhyayi completely. He was in France. He tried to learn French language. He tried to study the French history. In European travels, he speaks about the Europeans' dress, food style, and whatnot. My goodness, what an amount of observation, what an amount of knowledge he had. So the knowledge excels, man. We all know that. Nahi gnanena sadusham pavitram miha vidyate. Centripetal and centrifugal force came. It was discovered. There's a lot of change in science. The law of gravitation was discovered. There's a lot of change in the science. Atomic theory came. A lot of change in science. So either with respect to physics, with respect to mathematics, with respect to astronomy, with respect to self, the knowledge excels the man. It brings a greater change in the human life, in the human civilization, and also in the personal life also. So here Gnana Shakti, one is mundane, the empirical science or empirical knowledge, and also the spiritual knowledge also involves this Gnana Shakti. The real knowledge, Gnana Shakti, is what? The knowledge of self. Who am I? What is my real nature? The moment when we understand that, the problem of security, the problem of alienation, everything has been removed. Why all these great people like Swami Vivekananda and etc., why so many difficulties came, but still they were able to go ahead? Why? Because of the power of ideas and because they were well experienced that they are self, not the body, not the mind, not the emotions, not the thoughts, but the self, which is indestructible in nature. This is what power of Gnana, power of knowledge, the supreme knowledge. Even this Gnana itself is in our country's name, actually Bharata. Bharata. Why it is called? How did we get this name? Because unfortunately, our history books, they tell that because there was a king by name called Bharata. Bharata ruled our country. That's why it is called Bharata. There are so many kings. There were so many kings. They all ruled our country. Why didn't we get the name? It is one of the simple reason or very negligible answer for that actually. Actually, this Bharata has been created or it has been formed by these two dhatus, Bha and Ratha. Bha means knowledge. Bha means light. And Ratha means what? One who is engaged, one who is searching for. Where there are hundreds of people, thousands of people who are residing and who are busy in searching for the knowledge, divine knowledge, supreme knowledge, light, whatnot you can say. Such a geographical area has been called as Bharata. What a beautiful, what a sublime, magnanimous meaning regarding to our country's name. You see, Bharata, where hundreds of people are busy in pursuit of knowledge, in searching for the divine knowledge, in searching for the supreme truth, in searching for the light. Such area was known as Bharata. See, 5,000, 10,000, 50,000 years before, our Rishis gave this simple statement, simple Sanskrit couplet, or a Sanskrit mantra, part of Veda, Asatoma Sadgamaya. Let us travel from the unreality to the reality, from Asat to Sat. What a great idea. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. Let us travel from the ignorance to the knowledge, or from ignorance to the light. Then Mrityorma Amrutangamaya. Let us travel from mortality, death, to the immortality. What a beautiful idea. What a grand idea. Even hardly we come across that civilizations well progressed during that time. Already the grand ideas was given by our Rishis. They were thinking, this is our Bharata. And Swami Vivekananda represented this Bharata. That's why he was known as condensed India. When we have got, when we understand that we are spirit, we are self, and we are divine, and if we think that to manifest the divinity is the goal of the life, then all our problems can be solved. We have got problems at the house, we have got problems at office work, or we have got problems physically, mentally, intellectually, morally, spiritually. All these problems can be reduced into ashes by understanding who am I and manifesting that spirit, manifesting the divinity in every walk of life. Power will come, glory will come, goodness will come, everything, whatever is there in this world, everything will come when you understand that you are the self. This is not my words, my dear young Indians, my dear Bharatiyas. This is the teaching which was given by Swami Vivekananda. So the manifesting the divinity is the universal message of Swami Vivekananda. That is, we are divine and we should manifest the divinity time and again, time and again. And we should preach the divinity to the entire mankind. That is what the Swami Vivekananda's message, which can be used or which can be summarized in a nutshell. So thank you again once more for this wonderful opportunity to share my ideas on Swami Vivekananda's universal message. If you have got any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Shri Rama Krishnarpanamastu.
Thanks a lot, Swamiji, for such a thought-provoking session. Indeed, you have highlighted so many points to contemplate, where you have given the universal message of Swami Vivekananda in the light of personality development, where you have quoted the Ichcha Shakti, Jnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, the power of desire, the power of knowledge, and the power of deeds, where you have given the example of Ashwini Angadi and Gopinath and Swamiji's his own very life, where he went to Chicago. Swamiji, it's indeed a thought-provoking session, I can say, where our listeners can hear your speech again in the YouTube channel of Ramakrishna Mat Mangalore, where they can go back and they can hear your lecture for the further contemplation, I can say. So here we have some of the questions. If you have questions, my dear friends, you can raise your hand and you can speak. Among with us, Professor Paul G. Aquinas. He was a previous chairman of Department of Social Work from Mangalore University. Professor, welcome to you. Sir, can you please unmute yourself? 1 minute, sir. I'll make you as a co-host. Yes, sir. Sir, you can unmute yourself now.
Yeah, I have unmuted. Thank you very much. Pranam, Swamiji, for your thought-provoking lecture. We had the second lecture of this series conducted in the social work department. In fact, you know, the first time I met Ranjan Bellarpadi, whom I can now very well call as Ranjan Anna, though he is much younger to me. When he first came, a colleague of him introduced me and told me to speak. And the first thing I saw was, the brilliance of his face and the happiness in his heart. And I said, probably this is something that we have to give to our students, and they will be enlightened by this. Because after all, the striking feature of Swami Vivekananda's teachings is their universality, helping individuals to attain that perfection in themselves. The third lecture which we conducted was in a college, because the lockdown started and Mangalore University was not allowing. We went there, and I found out that one of my student was the director of that institute, and from there we took it over, and we had continuous online lectures. Swamiji, I'm very happy to tell you that 2 batches of our students are passed out, and the guiding light is the online lectures that we have at on the 12th at 6 p.m. Many of our students have joined it. We started WhatsApp groups and other things which came into the being. And what I can say is it did make a great impact on our students, because as a teacher, I look at it from the students' point of view. And what was brought out most was the spirituality, the universal message of hope and the belief in youth themselves, because probably what we see is they don't believe in themselves. And probably these are the lecture series which brought about these changes which have taken place in our students. And therefore, I am very much indebted to the Ramakrishna Mutt and to Ranjan Pelarpadi for having given us this opportunity. We also made it a point that, that our students visit the Ramakrishna ashram as soon as they join the MSW course. We have made it, and for 2 years we have been done that. And when we ask them a question at the end of the first semester, the first thing they say is, that bonding with Mother Nature herself, the swachhata, which has been very much brought about by the Ramakrishna mission. These are something which made a great contribution to all of them. So we really find very blessed, sir, that this is that association that you have given us. And to quote Swami Ji himself, let the world realize what contributions I have made. It will take a long time to understand that. We are understanding it. Maybe like a child playing on the seashore, we're picking up one shell on another and saying how unique it is. But there is a vast amount of knowledge which is there, which all of us need to inculcate in ourselves. So that was the 25th journey. I'm very happy to be a part of this 25th journey, and thank the Ramakrishna Mutt as well as the Mangalore Study Center and Ranjan Anna for giving me an opportunity of speaking and expressing this. I always would feel that probably this should have happened at least much younger in my life, so that, many of the students would have benefited much more than this. Because the spirituality, hope, and belief in ourselves are very much important. The universal message is very important. And, looking at the perfection in individuals and saying, I can also do it. Basic thing is, if everyone can do it, I can also do it. Probably this will go a long way. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Sir is also a wonderful writer and thinker who's contributed a lot of articles in prominent websites of Mangaluru and to the local journals. So thank you, sir, for being part of Viveka Vani lecture series. Thank you, sir. I also have... Yes.
I also have your books, sir, which you have given me, and I made it one point. I keep my books on the table. Yes. You have given me, and which other people have given me regarding, Swami Vivekananda's teaching. And I tell the students only one thing: you can pick any book you want, and I don't ask you a name, I don't ask you anything. But when you feel you have finished it, come and keep it back, because it is a powerhouse for somebody else. That is one of the things that we have done. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I recognize the presence of Professor Kishori Nayak and Renuka Madam and Shubhashini Srivatsa Madam and Vijay Kumari Madam, Dr. Uday Kumar sir, and Dr. Tejaswini Madam. And so thank you so much for your presence and being supportive to the Vivek Vani. Swamiji, we got a question from a youngster, I think, in the chat section. And, he said he was has just a minute, Swamiji. I'll just yes, I got it. Swamiji, he's asking, Ankur is asking a question called how ideas of Vedanta can be instilled in youth, say younger generation. how the ideas of Vedanta can be instilled in younger generation.
Yeah. Thank you. With maybe just a note with that, Professor Akmanas, he gave a beautiful understanding or whatever. He expressed his views. With that, he was saying about the faith. So probably that is again one more very interesting word for me always, to understand what is Shraddha. Though we translate it as a faith or belief or whatever, it is not so. It is a Shraddha is something different. And with the words of Swami Vivekananda, one, if you can read and try to understand what is Shraddha, it is a subject of him itself. Definitely, it is a great thing. As a note to the Professor Aquinas' remarks. Yeah. Now coming to the question, how can we teach Vedanta to the youngsters? So probably we should make it very clear that Vedanta is not just a theory, or it is a belief, or it is something with respect to religion or sect or whatever. No. It is based on with rationality. You can ask questions and you can feel, if you feel it is right or okay, then only you can accept, otherwise you not to accept. So the power of questioning, the power of discussion, the power of rationality is very much in Advaita Vedanta. And it is not that something which you can attain after life or in after death in some world or no. The Vedanta is teaching to experience that happiness, experience the happy peace or completeness here and now. That is the greatest strength of the one of the greatest strength of Advaita Vedanta. Probably from this angle, Swami Vivekananda has dealt much, and my Gurudev Swami Ranganathanji also has discussed a lot of these ideas with respect to Swami Vivekananda's Vedanta and all. So Vedanta should be made very clear that it is never the sect or a theory meant for mendicants or only for spiritual people or only for monasteries or no. It is for everyone to become a better human being, to lead the life of completeness. When we say this type, when we probably present the Vedanta from these type of angles, other than traditional approach, then I think youths also will be attracted towards Vedanta, I mean.
Thank you, Swamiji. Thank you so much. So I also thankful and recognize the presence of Dr. Vijaya Saraswati Madam. She was a Dean of Swami Vivekananda PG Center. She's always a supportive person for all our activities. So thank you, madam. I think she just left just now. Okay. Yes. Swamiji got up one more question personally to the message. Swamiji, how to focus well where we have so many things which distracting us. So in this scenario in the modern days, how we can focus well? That's the question.
Maybe for that person, I would like to ask, because there are so much distractions, have you stopped eating?
No, Swamiji.
Have you stopped
I'm
sleeping?
replying on behalf of him.
Have you stopped sleeping?
Oh, not at all. I was
Not at
speaking,
all.
sleeping more, I think.
Yeah. Have you stopped maybe watching TV or internet surfing or using WhatsApp or whatnot?
Oh,
When
yes.
you don't have any distractions for all these things, why have you got only distractions towards achieving your goal or study or whatnot?
That's the
So
question.
it's a blame excuse. It is an excuse of out of laziness or whatever. Yes, having said this, I don't say that there are no distractions at all to the younger generations. Yes, there are enough distractions. I keep on saying that for the aged people. See, the modern generation, they have got more challenges than you. Then they say, how Swamiji, because we used to walk for 8 to 10 kilometers, we had to bring to 60, 70 buckets of water and fill in the house or whatever from the well or tube well. Now everything is automized. I mean, water will come and fall in the whatever in the tank, overhead tank directly, and children are provided all type of facilities, physical facilities. But whereas we didn't have. Then I said, yes, the physical challenges you had more and the present generation, they don't have, but you didn't have any mental challenges. The present generation has got a lot of mental challenges. I mean, distractions, competition, heavy competition, all these things. Yes. So for all these things means there should be intense desire for you to achieve something. Most of the time when I used to interact in India with youngsters, I used to ask them, maybe at the SLC or PUC or degree time, what is your aim? What do you like to do in future? Maybe let me see the result. Let result come. Let this happen. Let lost my parents, etc., etc. there were very few students who gave the answer with full of confidence, I would like to become this, or I would like to pursue this or that. So that means they had a set of goal, they had got a clarity towards goal. If that is there already for the youngsters, then definitely it is not that there are no distractions. There will be no problems and challenges. There may be there. In spite of that, we will be able to get focused and we'll be able to move towards our goal. But unfortunately, most of us, neither we have goal, nor we have got a clarity of thoughts and ideas, what we should become, or in simple statement, if you want me to say, what do I want? Most of us, we are not sure. The moment when we get clarity, what do I want? What do I like is very important. I mean, it is not which we should think, because most of us, we have got so many likings. I want this, I want that, all these things, superficial ideas, fancy ideas will be coming. I'm not speaking that. What do I want? What do I want to be, or what do I want to become? So this clarity is required. Once the goal is fixed and you have got a clarity regarding the goal, then what is the way or a path, means to achieve it? We should understand. And if you start putting into practice, all the focus will come automatically. The problems will be minimized. Even if they are there, it never mind. You'll be able to pursue your path.
Okay. So what I want need to be clarified now first. So then I have to set a goal, and that should keep on inspiring me to work upon. So thank you, Swamiji. Swamiji, I have a personal question. Where Swamiji comes, Swami Vivekananda coming after from West, and he says that this one is a Punya Bhumi, the India, Bharat is a Punya Bhumi. Now you are in West now. So most of the youngsters like us, you'll always love to come to West and settle down there for the job, for the standard of living, for this high pay. So by you are staying in West and looking towards East, say India. So how you feel, Swamiji? So after being 1 or 2 years of stay in Ireland, so
someone asked me, Swamiji, a person who called in India from India yesterday, day before. Then that, Swamiji, when are you going to come to India? I said, tomorrow itself. My mind is so much that I would like to come tomorrow itself if I get a chance. But what to do because of administrational problems or some responsibilities, not just problems, in more of responsibilities, because I'm discharging my own responsibilities, building the center, new center. Okay. So because of that, I'm not able to come. Otherwise, tomorrow itself, if I get a chance, I will be the happiest person to visit my motherland, Matrubu. Because once we come out, we will understand how our country is so great and so beautiful and so etc. whatnot. Definitely, I feel much. My respect towards my country has increased 100 times, 1,000 times after staying in Europe and in Ireland. Having said, but there are many things which are wonderful things which we can learn from West basically. One is that probably what I felt is, one is the sense of cleanliness. We're all clean, we take bath every day and we keep our house clean, no doubt in India, but we don't keep our outside, we eat things and all, we basically throw all the garbage or dust, we dump the things outside. But whereas in the West, I don't see. To such extent, they follow, most of not, if not all, many of them they follow, especially in the Europe and US I've heard, and Europe I have seen, even when they take their pet dogs outside for a walk, they carry a cover with the gloves. Even it makes some shit or whatever, they carry it and they put in the dustbin.
Oh.
Imagine. To such extent they do it. And of course, there are some people who makes in front of our own ashrama. We have got a school. When the parents, they come, or the youngsters, they see, elders, they come and waiting for the little ones to take. They eat kurkure and they throw the cover here and go. There are some amount of people everywhere that is there.
Indian mindset.
Once in a week, we always keep cleaning in front of our ashrama. Okay. That is there. But that percentage is very less, I mean to say. There's one thing I find. And many times people give a lot of explanations. Oh, there, 30, 40 kilometers, I can go in 20 minutes in the national highway, I used to say.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Even initially, I was also feeling, yes. But if you see the whole, our Ireland population is what? 5.5 million. That is 55 lakhs. Okay. Now, the Bangalore alone population, as I know, that it is a registered 1.3 crores.
1.3 crores. Yes.
The only Bangalore population is 1.3 crores, and the whole of Ireland population is 55 lakhs, and 40 kilometers going in 20 minutes or 25 minutes, it's obvious.
Correct. Correct.
Isn't it?
Yes.
And say, for example, recently, 2 days before, I wrote learner permit for four-wheelers, learner permit exam.
Okay.
How the exam happens here, there are 800 questions, objective questions.
My
800
God.
questions I have to study.
Uh-huh.
And once there are, online, I have to book the thing. After 25 days, I got a appointment for exam. Then 40 questions were given.
Okay.
Among 40, 35 questions should be right.
Oh, okay.
Then only I passed, otherwise failed. With God grace, 40 questions, 40 out of
It might be
out.
challenging more than your PhD, Swamiji. Yes.
So anyhow, I got 40 of 40, and afterwards I had to take appointment for eye checkup.
Okay.
That will take 2 days, 3 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, people say. And 35 to 40 euros minimum 40 euros I have to pay just for eye checkup.
Oh.
Imagine 40 euros, 40 into 85 rupees.
Now I understood that why you want to come India immediately. So, Swamiji, that's really true. That when we being in the West, we'll come to know the value of East. Of course, the India. Yes,
And
Swamiji.
recently, a person who is working in IBM is getting around 4,000 euros, I think.
Yes.
4,000 euros, if not less, or maybe more, even 5,000 euros. Even for argument's sake, we shall take 4,000 euros. 4,000 euros into 85 rupees.
Okay.
Around it comes more than 3 lakhs.
Correct.
At least around 3 lakhs you get it.
Correct.
Now here, he has to drive his vehicle. He has to leave his children for school. He has to wash his plates. House plate, cleaning he has to do. And his wife cooks and he cleans kitchen and he cleans all the plates or utensils or whatnot.
Okay.
And if wife is not there, he has to be there. If he is not there, wife has to be there to take care of children, cleaning house, all these things. And you imagine 3 lakhs, if you are getting a salary in India, what life you can live.
Yes, agree. I totally agree, Swamiji. Wonderful, Swamiji. Now the youngsters can negate that, the value of India. Certainly, many of had the same feeling. Certainly, for the way of living and for the experience, they can go to West and certainly come back and bring with lot of knowledge and technology to India and spread here. Swamiji, we got one question from Suvi. He's asking a question. Pranam, Swamiji, kindly guide how to overcome from criticism. That's a nice question, I can say. How to overcome criticisms.
Don't pay any attention to it at all. Don't pay any attention to it, first and foremost. Second thing is, when we are growing, when we are developing ourselves, or when we are success people, achievers, or whatever, if not all, many of the people in and around, maybe colleagues, maybe friends, or whatever, whomever, so out of jealousy, out of weakness of the mind, sometimes they do keep on commenting or they keep on criticizing. That can be a category of people, first point. If that is the case, then you need not to bother. You should feel sorry. Only you should feel sorry for them, and you should pray to God so that they should be able to overcome from their weakness. The otherwise, there is a positive criticism from the good people. From good people, if that is the case, then that's definitely we should accept it. Like someone is positively criticizing, you are good, you are bad, or you are right or wrong, this is okay, this is not okay, or whatever. When they say if there's a positive criticism from people in and around, in a good sense, definitely we should accept. We should make a self-evaluation. And if that is the case, then definitely we should accept and we should try to correct ourselves. We should go for, we should refine our personality. We should make our personalities well. Otherwise, if that is it is a unnecessary things and it is a trash, then just throw into dustbin, that's all.
Okay. Suven, hope you got the reply from Swamiji. It's very simple. Ignore the criticisms. One, if it is very constructive criticisms, not allegation, then give some reflection time for yourself so that you can contemplate on that and rectify yourself. So yes, thank you so much, Swamiji. Swamiji, I'll go for a last question. Can you please suggest some of the important book? We have few Kannada listeners also. where to start with the life of Swamiji, where some of our youngsters. One is simple book, another one is little advanced book for some of our professors to go with. So two varieties of book, and maybe in English or Kannada also. Yeah, please, Swamiji.
When it comes to life of Vivekananda, there's a beautiful book penned by Kuvempu. Our Rashtrakavi Kuvempu is there, and other is Somnathanjis is there. The third is Purushotmanjis is there. When it comes to life. And the teachings is, if possible, if you can read Kruti Shreni, which goes into 10 volumes, I think. So definitely that is, everything is there. Okay. If not, at least I expect the people to read two books at least. One is Colombo to Almora, Lecture from Colombo to Almora, and the other is Four Yogas of Swami Vivekananda.
Okay.
And if they feel, no, it is too heavy for us and it's too difficult, then from the personal development point of view, one is, I always probably suggest, there is a beautiful book, How to Control Mind, from Swami Buddhanandaji.
Okay.
Swami Buddhanandaji. Buddha.
Okay.
So it is a very practical handbook for all of us to control our mind, to lead our life. So probably these are the books I suggest.
Yes, Swamiji. Thank you so much for suggesting those books. And dear friends, you can go back to our YouTube video, you can rewind it and you can make note and you can place an order to our bookstall. You can contact to our website, ramkrishnamatmangalore.org, where you can get the contact numbers. You can place an order for the books. Thank you. Swamiji, please mention your email ID so that some of our participants or professors can reach out with some of their questions in the near future, Swamiji.
Yeah, just I will put in the chat box.
Yes, please, Swamiji. Please go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, if any queries are there, they can do them. Yes, I put in the chat boxes.
Puja Swamiji has dropped his email ID, Shantivratananda. You can take a screenshot, my dear friends, of chat where it's very easy, or maybe you can click on it and you can copy paste in your note, shantivratananda@gmail.com. So, my dear friends, if you want to know, if you want to hear more about Swamiji's thoughts, Swamiji is writing a series of articles in Vijaya Vani on a weekly basis, where Swamiji giving a wonderful thoughts. I hope and pray that someday it should come in the book format also. And it has come in the book format also. Two books, Swamiji, am I correct? Two books.
Sagara, part 1 and part 2.
So Sasiveli Sagara, part 1 and part 2 had come. You can buy those books. You can drop a mail to Swamiji and that books can be available for your purchase. One. And if you want to hear more on Swamiji, a few of his lectures is available in YouTube channel of Ramakrishna Mat Mangalore and Ramakrishna Mat Mysore. So it's worth hearing of his lectures on mind, life of Swami Vivekananda, life of Sri Ramakrishna, about India. His amazing thoughts are available. You can check it into Swami Shantivratananda in YouTube. The lectures will be available from Ramakrishna Mat Mangalore and Ramakrishna Mat Mysore YouTube channels. So, my dear friends, hereby we'll conclude the Viveka Vani lecture series. Let us go to the last segment of the series, where our vote of thanks by 1 minute. There will be a vote of thanks by our Professor Murali Krishna sir. He is from Vivekananda College of Education, Vivekanagara, Tenkila. Sir, Murali sir, are you available? Am I audible to you? Sir, kelista idya?
Yes, kelista ide. I hope I am also audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are very much audible, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Please, sir.
Okay, good evening all.
Thanks.
Swami Vivekananda said, everything is easy when we are busy, but nothing is easy when we are lazy. So this is the most appropriate to our current generation. So it has been my privilege to be a part of this wonderful session. I'm very thankful to the organizers for giving this opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion. First of all, on the behalf of Ramakrishna Mat, Swami Vivekananda Study Center, Mangalore University, I would like to thank the key speaker, Swami Shantivratananda ji, Minister in charge of Ramakrishna Vedanta Center, Dublin, Ireland, for his inspirational words. I also thank Professor Shripati Kalluraya, convener, Swami Vivekananda Study Center, Mangalore University, for organizing such a wonderful session. I also extend my gratitude towards authorities of Mangalore University, Honorable Vice Chancellor and Registrar of Mangalore University, for supporting in organizing such a wonderful programs. I also thank all the students, faculty members of different institutions, and all the participants who are over here and who have attended this program, and who are also inspiring others to attend such a programs. So thank you one and all.
Thank you, Murali Krishna sir, for the vote of thanks. Thank you so much for your presence. Namaste. Dear friends, I also personally want to thank Vivekananda Center for Post-Graduation in Putturu and Vivekananda College of Education, B.Ed College of Putturu, for their presence, and all the professors who are present over here from the different departments of Mangalore University and the students, friends. So thank you so much for being present here. Swamiji, on personal note, during your busiest schedule, you have made time to connect to us from Ireland to India. So thank you so much, Swamiji, for your gracious presence and sharing your thoughts on the universal message of Swami Vivekananda, plus, in the lights of personality development. So Swamiji, thank you so much for making our Silver Jubilee talk memorable. Thank you so much, Swamiji.
Jai Ram Krishna.
Jai Ram Krishna, Swamiji. So, my dear friends, we are also organizing such thought-provoking session on the upcoming days also. So, be in touch with us. You can follow our Facebook page, Swami Vivekananda Study Center of Mangalore University, for further updates. 1 and 2, you can go to our YouTube channel, Swami Vivekananda Study Center. If you search it in YouTube, you can get a playlist where you can hear all our previous lectures we are uploading. You can start from lecture 1, and by the end we'll be uploading on a daily weekly basis. So you can go back and hear all our previous lectures, where we have removed all the unnecessary contents, and we have placed only the speaker's thoughts, where you can go back and you can hear the various lectures as a podcast. And you can also visit Ramakrishna Math, Mangalore, for connecting to the thoughts of Swami Vivekananda through our service activities, or maybe a bookstall. So we always welcome you for our activities. So my dear friends, let us stay connected for through our WhatsApp groups for the further updates of Swami Vivekananda Study Center of Mangalore University. So hereby we are concluding our Silver Jubilee talk, 25th talk of Viveka Vani, series of lecture on the life and teachings of Swami Vivekananda. So this is Ranjan Bellarpadi. Thank you so much for being present here. Namaste, Jai Ram Krishna. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you, one and all. Namaste.